I think we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you, everybody, for being here this afternoon. We're going to have a very interesting hour speaking with Jennifer Lee Welch. She is a somatic um, therapist, somatic experience, hypnotherapy, and music therapy. And I love her little line, "Come home to yourself," helping people get over things that might be holding them back, trauma, different things that happen, habits that vex them. What a lovely way to spend your life. Before we start, I always like to thank Capital Federal for funding our retroactive adventures wherever they take us, and also Sharon and David Katzman's fund, the trust that they put together to support retroactive. So we always give them the shake hands. Thank you so much for your help. I'm going to just let Jennifer get started. She has a PowerPoint, which you may be seeing on your screen at the moment, and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself. I don't know if I need to ask you the usual questions. Tell us a little bit about yourself, but it's probably a good way to get started. And I'd kind of like to know how you moved into this more different modality, this one that, not everybody that even knows what somatic experience is. So if you could fill us in, which looks like you're going to do beautifully, I'll turn everything over to you. And thank you for being with us. And thank you everybody else for being here. If you have questions, please put them in the chat box. And Jennifer said she'd like to answer them at the end. So we'll keep track of your questions and let's get started. This is going to be a fascinating hour. Thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Laurel, for welcoming me here and for having me present. It feels like a real honor, so I appreciate you having me. I'm
Thank you.
Jennifer. Yeah, thank you. I'm Jennifer Welch, and wow, so the question of how did I begin doing this work or how did I get into it? I think my path has been a little alternative and unusual. I was telling Laurel before we began this presentation with everyone, I've wandered through my career and I find the things that I feel passionate about, tools that I am curious about, I've tried that I found effective, and so I've brought them all together into the work that I do. And I have to say, I love my work. I adore the clients I work with, and I find that this work is really meaningful. So I'm so grateful to be able to talk with you about it here today. As Laurel said, I will offer some introductory information. I've got a PowerPoint presentation. And then, let me see here. How do I move forward here in this? Let me see. Sorry, I'm figuring out my computer here. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, sorry. Always the technology, right?
That's been my particular problem. Yes, keep going. You're doing great, kid.
Okay. Well, so what we're going to cover today, I'm going to give you an introduction to what somatic therapy is, and the way that I work. I'm going to give an introduction into what hypnotherapy is, how they can support healthy aging, and then we're going to do a simple somatic and hypnotherapy practice all together. And then at the very end, I'm happy to answer any questions. So hopefully that works for you too. Okay. So as we age, every one of us is aging, but especially for those that are seniors, there's an incredible wisdom and perspective that can come as we age. You've been through so many different things, and you have a whole lifetime, a wealth of experience and knowledge that can be such a huge asset to being in this phase of life. And also with that, there are changes that you're going through. There are changes in your body, perhaps in your memory. You might have emotional shifts and changes in your relationships, and you have to navigate all of that along with the wisdom and the perspective that you have. So it can be a fruitful time, and you're also facing challenges. And I just want to acknowledge that because that's the case for so many of us. I know for myself, I'm supporting my parents through this process, and my family is my parents are aging, so it's something I'm very familiar with. But the good news is that our minds and our nervous systems they evolve through our entire life. And there's something that we call neuroplasticity, which is that the brain is ever evolving and our nervous system is highly adaptable. And so it's never too late to learn new patterns, whether that's of thinking or behaving. Our neuroplasticity continues late into life. And the benefits of hypnotherapy and somatic work together are working with this mind-body connection to help us learn how we can enjoy a greater sense of calm, a greater sense of energy and resilience as we navigate different life experiences. Okay. So what is the body of somatics? What does somatic even mean? In traditional therapies, we think of therapy as in the mind. Somatics are about the body. Soma means body. And so in somatic therapy, we begin listening to what is the story beneath what the mind is saying. What is happening in your body? What's going on in your nervous system? And more these days, we're hearing a lot about the nervous system and the importance of a healthy nervous system to support emotional well-being, to support how we think about things. And so somatics, we are listening to your body, what's happening inside. And when we do somatic therapy, we work with sensations such as heat, coolness. We work with contractions and looseness. We work with what's happening, the sensations of the body. We work with breath. How are your breathing patterns? What's happening in your breath? Do you find yourself holding your breath, or you're able to breathe freely? What is that like for you? And we use gentle movement. And all of these things are signs for how the body is doing. And when we do somatic therapy, we're tuning into these to support bringing greater awareness, to support greater ease. In the work that I do, the body of work that I do is called somatic experiencing. And this is a body of work that was developed by Peter Levine. And as Laurel said, this work is a trauma-based healing method. And the interesting thing about Peter Levine's work, he was studying in Boulder, and he was really curious about this process of healing and inner healing for individuals. And he was also studying animals in the wild, and he wondered, how is it that animals in the wild can go through all kinds of experiences, some of them traumatic and difficult, but unlike humans, they don't exhibit long-term symptoms like anxiety or stress the way that humans do. What is it that is different about those animals versus humans? And he realized that animals have a way of discharging stressful energy. And if you think about, if you have a dog, or even birds do this, if they've had a difficult experience or they've been startled, what do afterwards? They shake it all off. Exactly. Yeah, and that's their way of discharging this kind of stress energy. Well, we humans have evolved that for many of us, if we've had a startling experience, we don't have that sort of release, or we haven't been allowed, our bodies haven't been taught how to discharge what they call that kind of survival energy, or the adrenaline that's gone through our systems. And so somatics is a way that we tune into the body to gently allow accumulated survival energy or adrenaline that's built up in the system to move through. And we do this in a really gentle way that restores balance in the nervous system, what we call nervous system resilience. And this helps to reduce stress, it helps release anxiety and tension, and can be quite balancing. Sometimes when we think of the nervous system and we think of nervous system balance, sometimes people think that that means, oh, I'm just calm all the time. But in actuality, if we have a healthy nervous system, it means that we can meet the ebbs and flows of things and have some flexibility. And so this is what somatics does, is it allows our nervous system to be able to meet the moment. It's not that we're calm all the time, because sometimes we need a little bit of, oh, I need to turn left here, let me make that left turn. We need a little bit of oomph, but we don't want to get stuck there. And so somatic therapies allow us to have a little bit of flexibility, meeting the ups and downs with the sense of, oh, I can be present to this and I can move through it and I know that I'm okay. And this helps us reduce inner anxieties, it helps reduce tension, and again, that lingering stress that we might be experiencing. Each one of us may go through and practice our own somatic practices, and you might not even know it. If you can imagine a time when you've been stressed or overwhelmed, you might notice you just naturally take a deep breath. Or you might later think, oh, I need to stop just a minute and do some breathing. These are ways that the wisdom of your body has come forward and said, this is how I can support myself in this moment, just taking a deep breath. And so I invite you, let's just do that together right now. Oops, I had my phone fall down. I invite you just to allow yourself to take a slow, deep breath, filling your lungs, and then have a slow, nice, long exhalation. Let's do one more together. Nice, long, slow, deep breath. And when you're ready, a nice, slow exhalation. Yeah, and I invite you just to take a moment to notice, just after taking 2 breaths, how is that for you? There's no wrong answer here, but I know for myself, it just helps me slow down a little bit in this presentation and to be a little bit more present with you. Perhaps you can feel your feet on the ground. So I invite you just to take a moment. If your feet can reach the ground or whatever they're resting on, maybe they're in your shoes or resting up on something, just take a moment to wiggle your toes and just feel your feet. You don't have to change anything about where they're at. We just feel them. Yeah. That can be a grounding thing for some of us. It can just feel nice to, just even notice, I even have feet. How many times do we run through the day without thinking too much about it? But when we stop to feel them, actually I have feet and they're right there. They're right there. You might stretch if you've had tension or you've been sitting in a certain position. Your body might just want to stretch. Yeah, so let yourself just stretch if that's what your body feels like it wants to do in this moment. Yeah. Yeah. And as you listen to the wisdom of your body responding in whatever way your body wants to move, afterwards you can just take a moment just to notice, what do I notice after stretching my arms? Letting myself have a little twist. I know for myself, I just took a little bit of a deeper breath. I noticed my arms softened a little bit. You might notice those things or something else for yourself. So it's these ways that our body might want to move or might want to experience this present moment that we begin giving gentle attention to. And this is what somatics, the beginning part of what somatics is. It's enjoying simple pleasures, sights around us. I'm noticing beautiful colors or smells or the sights or sounds or touch, taste, all of the sensory input that helps bring a pleasure to your body, ease. This is what we're tuning into when we do somatic work. So soma means body, and in therapy it's helping bring awareness to your body to support ease, to lower stress, and address symptoms of trauma or difficulty. So what are the benefits of doing this work? And there are a lot of different benefits, and it looks different in therapy sessions. The way it works is we tune into the body and we work with those things in a way to help bring that sense of balance and move through difficult emotions or sensations to come into a place of restored balance. And so what this can do for your body as you go through somatic therapy is it can help improve balance and mobility, noticing where our feet are, finding our feet. If you've done physical therapy before in any sort of way, they might have, if you're working on gait or walking, they might say, stand up, feel your feet, have a nice stance so that you can feel your balance. You can use somatics to begin to notice, okay, how is my body moving as I'm walking? So it can help with mobility. This work can help reduce tension and pain. It can free up energy to offer more ease and comfort in your body. This work also helps bring a sense of emotional resilience. It's what I mentioned earlier, meeting the ups and downs of life by tuning into, okay, where is there some ease to help navigate the times when maybe it feels a little bit difficult or bumpy. This work also offers a deeper connection to yourself and to the others and to that natural world. There's a kind of intimacy when we're doing somatic work that comes because you are meeting yourself perhaps in a way that you never have before, where you get to befriend yourself, you get to befriend your body and the sensations and the emotions that arise in a way that really allows for compassion and kindness. And that can bring a whole new relationship with yourself that can be really lovely. All right, I've got some notes here. I'm just looking down at my notebook. Okay. So that is just a nutshell version of somatics. And I'll pause for a moment here just to share a little story. I've been working with a client who's been addressing some heart issues and has been having some sleep issues. And what somatic work has been very useful for her is helping her body after these heart procedures begin to find a place of safety and ease. Because when the body's gone through a surgery or a procedure, it can be like an invasion to the body, and the body can feel like it has to then be on guard. And when we're on guard, we can be really vigilant, and that heightens a level of stress. And so for this client, when she came in, she really wanted to do some somatic work to support her body in feeling more safe. And so in this work, what we did was helped her tune into the things I mentioned a slide ago. What are the simple things that in this moment help her body know, oh, right here, right now, I'm okay? The sights, the smells, in a very gentle and compassionate way, tune into those things so that she can bring them more and more into her daily life. And what this does is it cues our nervous system in to knowing that right here in this moment I'm okay, because otherwise it's almost like our nervous system can get a little bit hijacked and we can go into that hyper vigilant mode all the time. And it is though our nervous system forgets that those experiences are over, and that in this moment there is a sense of okayness. So it brings that sense of expanded resiliency, expanded awareness. All right. So another modality that I blend with the work that I've done is hypnotherapy. And in traditional work, I mentioned this earlier, a lot of times we're working with cognitive behavioral therapy as kind of the traditional mode of therapy that people go to psychotherapists for. And this is to look at how are my thoughts and how are they creating my reality and how can I address this? In my work, I'm an experiential learner. I don't know how many of you are, but I love learning through doing. And so I was drawn to these therapies because they were more than just talking. My body is, I enjoy kinesthetic experiences, I enjoy emotional experiences, and I wanted to find something that was a little bit deeper. And so in my work, I tried out hypnotherapy and found it so useful for helping me through difficult times. And so I brought it into my practice and I began practicing hypnotherapy about 20 years ago, just a little less than 20 years ago. And hypnotherapy, I think, gets a little bit of a bad rap, but it's through our media and movies, you kind of see things like, oh, you'll end up squawking like a chicken, or you're going to have some pendulum that's swinging, and it's not that at all. Exactly. It's not that at all. Really, hypnotherapy is a relaxed and focused state that helps create change. It's very much like daydreaming or kind of indulging ourselves in a fantasy in our minds. And what I typically use in my hypnotherapy practice when we're doing hypnosis is I use a process called progressive muscle relaxation to help people get into this deeper state of calm within themselves. And then we use something that's called affirmations and visualization to help seed and plant positive thoughts that can help the body and mind work together. And that's really what these therapies are doing. It's bridging the body with the mind, getting into those deeper waters. Like I said, sometimes people have a strange notion of what hypnotherapy is. It's not mind control, it's not sleep, it's not like I'm getting clients to do tricks, but it's really tuning into what are their strengths, their desires, and finding ways that they can accomplish those desires that feel authentic and natural, but bring in a greater sense of ease using supportive visualization and suggestion. And what does this do for seniors, for anyone really, but it can help reduce anxiety. It can help improve sleep. It can help reduce pain, and it can also enhance memory and confidence. There is a lot of times when people get worried and they're having pain, it's like the fear and the worry can intensify the pain, which then intensify the fear and the worry, and it just kind of begins this cycle. Well, using hypnotherapy, what we can do is bring in a greater sense of peace and calm to the body, which then lessens the worry, which then helps the body relax even more, which then can give a little bit more perspective to lessen the worry. And so we can address that pain-fear loop in both places using hypnotherapy and somatics as well, but hypnotherapy can be really useful for that. So with somatic therapy and with hypnotherapy, it really offers a deeper way of the mind and body working together. We get to address the nervous system and those sensations and feelings that are kind of bubbling up from inside to support nervous system regulation. And this really allows, like I said earlier, a greater sense of ease and calm. All right. And what this can be really beneficial for in aging is as you're navigating challenges, as you're navigating relationship challenges or physical health challenges or changes in social structures, is that can allow you a greater sense of peace, can offer new perspectives. It can offer choice in how we respond to things, which gives you a sense of dignity and resilience and joy. And I had told Laurel that we were going to do a practice and then some questions, but I'm wondering before we go into the practice, actually, this might be a good time to take a few questions, if that sounds good to you, Laurel.
That's fine.
Okay, and then we can go into the practice. That might
Okay.
be helpful. Yeah, let's do that.
There's two questions. The first came up, could you list standardized studies documenting the efficacy of these methods, especially those and something to CBT. I'm sorry, there's a little thing here.
Sure, no, that's okay. Yeah, no, I appreciate this question. And I'm getting a little bar here on my screen as well. So, what I will tell you is with somatic experiencing, there's a research is ongoing. Cognitive behavioral therapy has had many years of research, and so it's the leading treatment for many different things because of the longevity that it's been in the field. These, I would say, while hypnotherapy has been around a long time and there are studies that you can find. I don't have any right off the top of my head. I should have brought some. I didn't think about that. But if you go on to Google Scholar, you can find all kinds of studies. But somatic experiencing is one that is a field that the research really is just beginning to get going. But there are new studies coming out all the time. Particularly, one area that is of particular interest is with veterans. And so that's an area where study is ongoing. Right now, with somatic experiencing in that body is growing. Right now, I don't believe there are any control studies yet that have come out, but I think that research is being developed as it's becoming more and more well known. So that's my answer. It's not the best answer for you. I don't have any specific studies, but I know that you can go find them. And I can also, once we finish up, I can bring in some specific studies. Yeah.
Right. And if you would like me to, I can send references to everybody when we finish. Quite often I send follow-ups, contact information, whatever. So I'll be glad to share those with everyone. Another
Sure.
question here is, do you work with people diagnosed with Parkinson's disease?
You know, I haven't done a lot of that work thus far. I have done some work. Parkinson's disease is something that I'm very familiar with. My mother has Parkinson's, and this work can be useful for Parkinson's. I don't work with my mother. That would be a contraindication, but it's something that can be useful for mobility. If your physical body is struggling with movement or walking, if you're struggling with anxiety, it can be something that can produce a lot of anxiety and uncertainty. It just depends on what the client is experiencing, but it can be something that can be useful for really supporting an inner sense of confidence because with Parkinson's, like I said, there's a lot of uncertainty. So you can use it to support a sense of ease and confidence that you can meet whatever it is that you're facing with a greater sense of ease. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Another question asks, is your car covered by insurance or Medicare?
Yeah, that's a great question.
It's a common question.
It's a common
Great.
question. Yeah, it is. So my training, and unfortunately, I try to keep my rates reasonable, but because my training has been unusual, I'm a master's level therapist and my background is in music therapy. Music therapy is a field that is unlicensed. It's a certified field, and therapists that can charge insurance are licensed. And so my work is as an unlicensed therapist, although I've had a ton of training, it is private pay.
We spoke with a chiropractor last month, and he's in the same boat. Uh,
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating, I think.
Acupuncturist, I'm sorry, an acupuncturist. And
Yep.
yeah, and but he said he hadn't changed his rates in 10 years because
Yeah.
he likes to help people, and he could be practicing in California, but he wanted to come home where
Oh,
it's paid for,
right.
where it's covered. So
Yeah.
that's welcome to Kansas.
Exactly. And that's kind of how my approach has been as well, because I'm private pay and because we're in the Midwest, I do try to keep my rates reasonable.
Uh-huh. Another question here, somatic sounds a lot like mindfulness practice or
Yes,
yoga. How's it different?
right. Oh, that it absolutely is. It's a mindfulness-based therapeutic modality. And the way that it's different, when in session with clients, as a therapist, I am holding space, which means I'm providing the environment, an attuned environment where I'm observing and watching a client, and we allow the wisdom of their body to kind of lead the session. And so, in a yoga class or in a mindfulness practice, the instructor may be guiding you through all of the steps. And in a therapeutic session, instead of that, in we let the body kind of lead. I may offer some structure suggestions and interventions as sensations arise or if feelings arise, then I'll kind of come in to support what's arising. But we really allow the body to kind of lead in a way. And so whatever you come into a session with, whatever's going on emotionally, physically, that's exactly where we start. And we begin to listen to the body beneath the mind. What's happening? What are you seeing? What are you experiencing? And we begin working with that. But it absolutely is a mindfulness-based modality.
Mhm. Another question came in. My better half has had horrible back pain for years.
Mm.
Surgery, stimulator, PT, on and on.
Wow.
This be used to better control the pain. And the person writes, by the way, she expects instant relief. Don't we all?
Yeah. Oh, we want it so badly, don't
Yeah,
we?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that. Absolutely, these therapies can be useful in supporting ease, helping the body tune into where ease already is, which helps support navigating, like I said, that pain, fear, tension cycle. And so they certainly can. Sometimes in this work, it can be that as we begin listening to the body in this kind of deeper way, rather than manipulating and controlling the body, but listening from within and allowing the body's intelligence to come forward, there are times when I've had clients say, wow, my body wanted to do this thing and I always pushed against it, but in allowing the body's wisdom to come forward and to complete some kind of movement it hasn't been allowed to be completed in this way, sometimes that does release tension and pain, and so it can be supportive. I don't know that it, I don't know that it will fix all ills, or but it can be quite supportive in addressing those lingering symptoms that have been ongoing.
Right. I think the follow-up to that question might be how many visits to get results.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are great questions, and it varies from client to client, and it varies on what it is that you're addressing. I've had clients come in that have had a chronic sense for quite some time, whether that be in their digestive system or in their shoulder. And we may do 1 or 2 sessions and things begin to shift and move. And there are some clients that we work together quite some time, and it may be that there's been a cluster of symptoms that have been showing up, and they just require some time and attention. And so it really varies. What I typically let clients know is I typically work with clients between 6 and 10 sessions, But because this work is experiential, you should know within just a few sessions if it's something that's beneficial for you, because you should be noticing, oh, I am experiencing a greater sense of ease, or I'm noticing that I have more choice, or I'm feeling quite better after sessions. You should notice that within a few sessions if this work is beneficial for you.
Those are the questions. Is this a time for my story that you said I should share?
If you'd like to, go ahead, Laurel, and
Okay,
then we'll do a little practice.
this is just a little aside. I told Jennifer before, actually, as she got on before we opened up to everyone, years ago, I'm going to say 15 years ago, my husband um, was working for the sheriff's office, you know. And long and short, he had been smoking since he was 12 years old because he was a paper boy. Remember the 1950s? He was a paper boy, and all the other guys who were older than him looked so darn cool. So he started smoking when he was 12 years old, and by this time he's about 60. And as Mark Twain put it, quitting smoking is easy. I've done it a million times. Steve had quit smoking at least 4 times, and sometimes for years at a time, but had no, you know, out on patrol, it's late at night, you're bored, somebody's smoking. Hey, give me one of those, because you just don't know what to do with yourself. So he'd always talked about quitting smoking, but never had lasting success. One day I went to see a chiropractor and noticed the door next door to that person's said hypnotherapy. I asked the receptionist at the chiropractor, oh, a hypnotherapist is in this town, not knowing anything and having seen the movies where think thoughts, so I thought that's amazing. She said, yes, it's a wonderful person. My husband went there and he quit smoking. And I thought, well, that's not interesting. So that night at dinner, I was just talking a lot like I am now. And I said, there's this hypnotherapist in town. And, oh, yeah. And I said, yeah. And someone quit smoking. So where I'm going with this is that he said, oh, and that was it. That's as far as we went. So we're going to fast forward now to Christmas. And I had a little old stocking from when I was a child, and I put my hand in it, and there was a little pencil holder thing and the words written on it were my last cigarette. And I said, what is this? And he said, oh, I went to see that hypnotherapist and I quit smoking. You're holding my last cigarette. And when I ask you for it, please give it to me. And I did, and he smoked it. He never smoked again. He didn't talk about it. He didn't get twitchy when he was around a Marlboro. And I thought, and I said, how did that happen? He said, I don't know. We just talked about stuff. I don't know. We read a book. I mean, but anyway, so I asked, were you the one? And it turns out I think she was. So we made a little
Yeah.
connection there. So that's my little story. And she said you could share that. I could share it if you want. So thank you very much for listening. Um, I don't know. It was very successful for him, and it wasn't a thing anymore. It,
Yeah.
it at all. It was just he moved past it, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I'm done. Back to our presenter.
Well, thank you, Laurel, for sharing that story. I think I do remember your husband. Um, yep, yep. And I think your story illustrates the benefit of this work can be very simple. Sometimes I think people think, in order to experience change, there has to be something big and grand that happens. But when we tune into the deeper levels of our body and mind to address our inner emotions and the beliefs that kind of keep our patterns in place, and we begin working with those in a very gentle and compassionate way, it can produce some really wonderful change. So that's a great story. Thank you, Laurel, for sharing that.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, yeah. And hypnotherapy is something that people commonly come to stop smoking. It can be very effective. So, yeah. All right. Well, before we finish up here, I wanted to offer a little practice for everyone. And we did a few practices just throughout this little presentation, but I wanted to give you just a brief blend of both hypnotherapy and somatics. So I invite you, wherever you are, to just let yourself get comfortable in your chair. If you need to move or adjust or whatever you're sitting on, I invite you just to let yourself get nice and comfortable. Go ahead and feel, if you want, you can keep your eyes open. You can have a soft gaze if you want, or if it feels good to you to close your eyes, I invite you just to let your eyes gently close. And as you settle in, just feeling yourself getting comfortable in your chair, your eyes closed or open or whatever they want to do, just notice how it is just to begin to tune in. Perhaps you can feel your breath coming in and out. Perhaps you can feel your body supported by your chair, or whatever you're resting on. And know that just for the next few moments, this is your time. And there's nowhere you need to go. There's nothing you need to do. You can just take a few moments right here just for yourself. We're going to begin with a gentle body scan. And as we do this, I'm going to invite you to just imagine or feel or sense a soothing, comforting relaxation just flowing into your body. And this can happen for you in any way that feels good for you. And so I invite you just to allow your awareness to go to the top of your head. Just noticing your head here. I invite you to imagine that a wonderful wave of soothing relaxation just washes over your head now. Just bathing your head in gentle, soft sensations of soothing relaxation. And this relaxation can wash down the back and the sides of your head. It can flow down through your forehead, just bathing away any tension, any tightness. This soft, soothing relaxation just flows down through your eyebrows. It can wash down through your eyelids and your eyelashes. Even sending this soothing relaxation, if it feels good, into your eyes themselves. Allowing all of the muscles in and around your eyes to soften and let go. And allowing this relaxation just to flow down through your face, softening your cheeks, gently relaxing your jaw. On an exhalation, allowing this relaxation now to flow down through your ears. Allowing it to flow down through your neck and your shoulders. Should you notice any areas of tension or tightness, you can breathe this soft relaxation right into those places. Offering any gentle movement that might be supportive to just allow that relaxation to flow down. Imagining, feeling, sensing this softness, this relaxation washing down through your arms all the way down, through your elbows, your forearms, wrists, and hands to the tips of your fingers. So that all of the muscles in your arms and hands are soft and loose. And then allowing now a soft, gentle wave of soothing relaxation just to wash over your back, flowing through all of the muscles in your back. This gentle wave of soothing relaxation washes through your upper back. It flows down through your mid back and it bathes all the way down through your lower back and hips, allowing all of the muscles in your back to loosen and soften as you just let go a little bit more now. Your body and mind working together to bring a level of peace, comfort. And this relaxation can flow now down through your chest, bathing through your heart and your lungs. The softness can wash down through your belly. Calming relaxation and softness just flows through all of your internal organs. So just let go a little more now. And sending this relaxation down through your hips and allowing it to flow down through your thighs, your knees, lower legs, ankles and feet. The tops of your feet soften and the bottoms of your feet can let go. And I invite you, using the creative intelligence of your inner mind, I invite you to imagine that right out before you is a beautiful place in nature. Maybe a place you've been to before, a place you love. And in your mind's eye, you can just step now right into this place in nature and just be right there, noticing the colors, the sounds. Perhaps you can even notice the smells here, or feel the air on your skin. Just letting yourself notice this place in nature, allowing it to be as vivid and as real for you as you'd like. And as you enjoy this beautiful place in nature, a wonderful beam of sunlight, almost like your personal beam of sunlight, just begins bathing over you, washing your whole body in warming, soothing, peaceful light. It brings a wonderful quality of calm. You can even breathe this light right into your body. This beautiful sunlight, just breathing it right in, and as you breathe it in, it just begins to flow softly and gently all through your body. For it's as though this healing light, this beautiful sunlight, just pours right in through the top of your head and it bathes through your brain and your mind, bringing a wonderful sense of calm, peace, and tranquility. And this beautiful light just washes down, bathing through you, bathing every cell in beautiful, soft light. It brings warmth and comfort to every muscle, bone, and part of your body. Just let yourself receive this light as it washes over you and through you. And I'm going to offer a few statements sentences. And I invite you to, using your own voice and your own inner awareness, just let yourself receive these statements, and you can even repeat them to yourself and just notice how they feel for you. Right here, right now, I'm safe. Each breath connects me to peace and calm. I honor the wisdom and the strength my years have given me. And I trust my journey. More and more now as I continue to learn about myself, continuing to learn about the world, meaning and joy are available to me here and now. And even though I may be going through changes, more and more I'm meeting them with kindness and compassion. For I'm learning and adapting and growing through every chapter of my life. I trust my body's wisdom, and I honor my pace. For I am resilient and capable and worthy at every stage of life. Just allowing that beautiful healing light to carry these messages deep into your body, into your heart, into your mind, connecting you even more deeply now to peace and calm. That sense of capability and worthiness. And in just a moment, we're going to return to the here and now. But I just invite you to breathe this light in. Just imagine that you're carrying it forward into the rest of your day, knowing that you can think about and call upon this light, this beautiful sunlight, anytime you want to or need to. And that when you do, it bathes you in a wonderful sense of calm and peace that's always available to you. So just getting ready now to return. If it feels good to you, you can stretch or gently begin moving your body. Taking in a nice deep breath. And when you're ready, just gently opening your eyes, returning to the here and now, giving yourself just a moment to return and noticing how that was for you. I'm curious if anyone has any comments or impressions after that gentle little practice that they want to share. Feel free to go ahead and put it in the comments if you do. And as we take those comments, I'm just gonna.
One just popped up here.
Oh,
My
sure.
pulse rate went down.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. These practices, and it is mindfulness and using visualization and affirmation, it can really slow down that rate at which our body is processing things so that our pulse goes down, our breathing can become more regular and steady. Yeah.
Someone said they felt sleepy.
Not uncommon. Yeah. It is a bit like a rest, an inner rest. And while you might not be asleep, and sometimes people think hypnosis actually means sleep, but it's not a state of sleep. It's a state of relaxation and focus. But you might feel a little bit sleepy as though you're resting. Yeah, that's not uncommon.
Someone mentions, I didn't think I could release the tension in my neck and back, but it was very nice.
Oh, good.
Good.
Yeah. It's never too late to create and experience ease in our bodies and in our lives. And working with your mind and your body can be really beneficial for supporting that mind body connection and greater ease. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing all this. I do know that as we get older, maybe everybody can relate. There, we all have a lot of medical adventures, and
Yes,
we have adventures trying to figure out what happened to this or that. Um, and just lately, I've been asking my body what it thinks about it,
yeah,
because they certainly have a lot of, there's a fix for there's a pill for about everything.
right.
But it's a whole, we just don't tend to think that way. Um, so I'm so glad you were here to offer this to people, that you're not only here, but you're right here in Lawrence, Kansas. And there are different ways to handle the stress of living in this world. And I appreciate the time that you've spent with us. We're about out of time. Um, I guess I'm supposed to mention, I do want to mention, we will be continuing Gray Anatomy through the coming calendar year. And in September, we're going to talk about stress. We're going to be hearing how to read your and understand your lab charts, which is most interesting. So when you see that score and you don't know what it means, we're going to get a little bit of help with that. So you can decide what your body thinks about that now. Take a little bit of Jennifer's advice with you when you learn how to read your lab results. So thank you so much for being here. Are there any other quick questions, anybody? I know there can't be a quick question to what we just experienced, but if there's anybody has anything to share, please put it in the messages. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I
Yeah.
will offer I'll offer some substantive research in our follow-up email, and I'm happy to share that. And I'm just
Yes.
so grateful, Laurel, for you for inviting me onto your program, and it's so wonderful to speak with everyone. So thank you.
You're very welcome. Someone says you have a very calming voice, and it's a refreshing to hear a calming voice these days.
Yes, I agree. Thank you so
That's
much.
my
I appreciate
comment.
it. Thank you.
So here's somebody clapping. The
Oh,
clapping hands are floating up into the
oh,
universe. So thank you so much for your time. Thank
thank
you,
you.
everybody, for being here today. And everybody, remain as calm as possible. Keep calm, but carry on, right?
That's right. That's right. That's right. Thank you, Laurel.
Thank you
Take
so much. Thanks
care.
for being here, everyone. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
We'll see you in the
Bye-bye.
next